All right, guys. Tuesday, 10:26. Here's our warm up today. You're going to be identifying the following types of slope. All right, you're choosing between positive, negative, zero, and undefined. You have 4 different graphs here. Go ahead on your warm up paper. Make sure to answer all 4 of these. Feel free to use your notes from last time if you need to refer to those. I want y'all to take 3 minutes on this. So go ahead and pause the video, set a timer for 3 minutes, and then we'll get our fun question of the day. All right, fun question of the day. Would you rather live in Zombieland, aka the movie, or live in the Upside Down from Stranger Things? If you don't know what either one of these things are, write it down. Let me know. Feel free to take a minute on this if you want to set a timer, pause the video, and then we'll get into our notes. All right, finding slope from a graph, rise over run. Let's follow the steps on this first problem. Find 2 perfect ordered pairs on the line and the type of slope. Okay, so first off, the type of slope, I can tell if I'm moving from left to right, left over here, right over here, I can tell that my line is going down. So I know that the slope type will be negative. Go ahead and write that down. So I know my final answer should be a negative number. All right, now let's try to find 2 perfect ordered pairs. Find 2 perfect ordered pairs on the line. So just like we were talking about yesterday, a perfect coordinate or a perfect ordered pair would go perfectly through the grid, right? So I'm looking for a vertical line and a horizontal line to be crossing through my folded line I'm trying to find the slope of. So what I mean by that, check out this one right here. See how it's perfectly going through this exact point here using the y-axis and then this horizontal line that's also going through it. That's exactly the types of points that I'm looking for. So I'm going to choose here. And then it looks as though we have a lot of different points to choose from. I'm going to go ahead and just select this one right here. All right, so step number 1, complete. I found 2 perfect ordered pairs and found the type of slope, negative. Number 2, draw a right triangle connecting the 2 points. Check out what they did here. They drew a right triangle just like this. So we've actually done this before. Using a vertical and horizontal line, we can create a right triangle. Now, I want you to always start on the point furthest to the left. Just like we read the slope left to right, I want you to start at the point furthest to the left. So let's start here. And in order to get to the other point, we're going to have to go down first and then over. Now, we could have gone right first and then down. Doesn't really matter. You're going to get the same answer either way. So as you see in the picture, this is our rise. Rise would be up and down, as you see here. The run would be left to right. So this would be my run. Basically, our final answer is going to be in a fraction form with rise on top and run on the bottom. So draw a right triangle. Okay, I'm done with that. Number 3, count the rise and run. Okay, counting, not too bad. The rise. Looks like I went up 1, 2. So rise would be 2. Let's go ahead and write down here, rise equals 2. And then over my run, the run looks like it was 2 as well. 1, 2. Okay. So in this case, 2 over 2, I can actually simplify that. 2 divided by 2 should just equal positive 1. So in that case, remember that I should have a negative slope, right? So if it's a negative slope, that means the rise was actually negative 2. See how I was going down 2? right? So rise can be either going up or down. If it's going down, then that means that's a negative. That would make my answer a -1. Remember, we had a negative slope from the beginning. So slope would be -1 on that one. Let's go ahead and try the next one. All right, so as we're going, you can refer to the steps that are on your paper. Step 1, find two perfect ordered pairs and the type of slope. The type of slope, I can already tell that if I'm moving from left to right, that this line is going up. And if it goes up, that means my final answer should be a positive number. I have a positive slope going on. Let's go ahead and select two perfect ordered pairs. So two perfect ordered pairs. I see one, we actually have one at the origin here. I'm not actually going to select that one. Let's select a different one. I'm going to go ahead and select this one right here because it's crossing the grid perfectly there. And then I see another point, looks like it's crossing perfectly right here as well. All right, so to find the slope, I'm going to do rise over run. So rise, remember, is our up and down. In this case, let's draw a right triangle to connect the two dots that I have here. So I've got a line going up first, that's my rise. And then my run always going to the right. The way we do it, we always start with the point furthest to the left and then move to the right for our run. All right, so rise, in this case, I can start counting, see how many I get. So rise would be, looks like we had 2 jumps there. And then my run was 1. So if I plug those in here, my final answer would be 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. And in this case, I can go ahead and simplify that. 2 divided by 1 would give me a slope of +2. All right, number 3, we do have a slight difference with the graph here. See how it's counting by 2s instead. We have seen multiple graphs counting by 1s. This one, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? It's counting by 2s, which means that when we count, we're just going to have to keep that in mind. All right, same process here. I can look at this and immediately tell that this is going to be a positive slope. So let me write positive here. Once I find the type of slope, I can select 2 perfect coordinates of my choosing, as long as they're perfect coordinates. Looking for where it crosses the grid. I have one at the origin here. That's a perfect coordinate. And then as I'm moving up, this area is not going to work. At y equals 4, that's not quite perfect. Yeah, I got to go all the way up here to find a perfect coordinate. Boom. All right, from here, let's go ahead and create a right triangle. I always like to go up or down first, starting with the point furthest to the left. So I'm going up, and then I'm going to go to the right. Now I can start counting for my rise over run. My rise in this case, remember I'm counting by 2s on here, right? So that would be 2 right there, 4, 6, and 8. So each one of those jumps was +2, +2, +2, +2. So that would be 8 total for my rise. Rise equals 8. And I put it over top of my run. And my run looks like I just went over 2. Remember, each jump was worth 2 on this graph. So put 2 on the bottom. Now I can go ahead and simplify for my final answer, right? 8 divided by 2 would give me an answer of 4. And just double checking that my answer, yes, it's positive. So +4 would be my slope on that graph. All right, same process here. Now, it's getting a little tricky with the way the graph is being counted. Check this out. So my x-axis is counting up by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here on the x-axis, the horizontal line there. But the vertical line, my y-axis, is counting up by twos. So that's going to be important. That's going to affect our final answer, right? The process is still the same. We just need to make sure that we're counting by the correct number, depending on what axis we're doing, our rise or run. All right, so first step, just look at the graph, figure out what type of slope it is. If I'm moving from the left side to the right, this line looks like it's going in the upwards direction, which means that I'm going to have a positive slope. All right, then I can go ahead and select two perfect coordinates, looking for where our bolded black line crosses the grid perfectly in two separate spots. All right, I like this one. It crosses this y-axis right here at -6. And then I see another one right about here. So these are my 2 points. Let's go ahead and create a right triangle. Always start with the one furthest to the left. I'm going to go ahead and go up first, and then I'm going to go over to connect these two dots I created here. All right. From here now, I can just count my rise and my run. So rise, in this case, was going up. Remember, on the y-axis, I want to count by twos. So even though it's one jump, I went from -6 to -4. So that would be 2 total. Right, one jump, every jump is worth 2. So that's going to be rise of 2. And then my run would be going over 1, 2, 3. And as you see, I went from 0 all the way to 3. So that would be +3 for my run. And this fraction, I cannot simplify this. I can't divide 2 and 3 by something. So this would actually be my final answer. It's all done. 2 over 3 would be my slope there, and positive answer because I had a positive slope. Awesome. One last example, just making sure, double check right off the bat, I see that my y-axis is counting up by 3s every time, 3, 6, 9, 12, so on. My x-axis, however, is only going up by ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's make sure that when we're counting, we keep that in mind. Same as before, I have another positive slope. I'm going to write that down to start off. Then I have to find two different perfect order pairs, looking for where it crosses the grid. We want to see something like this on those points that we have. We want the grid crossing both vertically and horizontally. So one point I see, I like this one right here. And then as I'm moving up, this one's not looking too good. Here's another one, boom, just like that. Now feel free, if you saw two separate ones other than the ones I chose, go ahead and try to work it out and see if you get the same answer as me. Once you have two perfect coordinates, you can go ahead and create a right triangle out of them. Always start on the one furthest to the left. Now I'm going to go up and over. Rise first and then run. A great way to remember that rise are your y's. Rise rhymes with y. So it's very easy to remember. Rise is for our y values, and then run is for your x values. All right. So on this one, how far did we rise, do you ask? We have, how many jumps did we take? 1, 2, 3 jumps. But remember, these are going up by 3. So if each one of these jumps counts for 3, +3, +3, +3, my rise would actually be 9 total, because I took 3 jumps and they're each worth 3 apiece. So rise would be 9. Run would be 1, 2 jumps, and each jump is worth 1 in this case. So +1, +1. So run would be 2, which means that my final answer, I cannot simplify this fraction. I cannot divide 9 and 2 by something and make this smaller. So 9 over 2 would be my final answer for that slope. All right, from here, you can go ahead and flip your worksheet over and work on the back of it on your own. Once you're done with the back, you will submit your answers on Schoology. This is a great way to figure out if you got them right or not. You always get 2 attempts on those Schoology assignments, so if you don't do so great in the first one, look at it again, see where you might have made a mistake. Maybe it's the counting, double checking what interval each x-axis and y-axis is counting by, right? Take your time on it, do the best you can. Feel free to work with a partner next to you if you would like. And I will see you again soon. Good luck, guys. Have a great day.